a lot of early stuff that we did that really could swap. Wait, no. Oh, okay. Alright. There we go. As you see, the lead out with the Sephiroth here is going to be an interesting play, and it's going to be a watch out to see exactly how this Sephiroth play is going to adapt. We've got the matchup between VAEN and Lucky Lewis here on this starter. Lucky Lewis was, again, a player. He played Sephiroth a lot last semester, and he continued to play this semester, implementing more of a ninja into his style to get a little bit more of a fast character, just kind of using multiple matchups, making it a little less predictable. But he's been a player who's a very mechanically skilled player. He just knows how to play the character incredibly well. But he's also a player who will kind of let just going for cool stuff sometimes will take over. I think in tourney it's something where he's cleaned that up a lot. I remember watching some of his earlier tourney sets and some of his more recent stuff, especially before the winter break. After he went for a lot of just kind of plays just to style on people, and he kind of cleaned that up a lot. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays. I haven't been watching a ton of this Sephiroth. I watched his Greninja into the instant of Derpster we had on the stream a little earlier. That was a matchup right within top 8. By Lucky Lewis to the match right before this. So his Greninja there was playing very fluid against that instant. He also plays incredibly slow, so it'll be interesting to see how it is when he is playing on the slower side in the matchup.
Right, and just speaking as a Falco main player, from a lot of Falco players' opinion, this is arguably our worst matchup. It doesn't bother him as he gets the bounce matchup with his first stock. And from playing Lewis earlier, he's playing a lot more clean, not going for a lot of the silly stuff he was doing earlier, as you were saying. And despite that, it's just a question of can both of these players really stop the insane loser trend they've been both on? They both drop a set early and no, correction. VAEN has only played one set in the so far, and Lewis has just been on a tear. Losing to me that started matching him lost the second set, so he's been on a hill of losing. So VAEN really adapts to someone who's been on such a hot start, but keeping the core and getting hit with the counter by Lewis to even out these stocks.
Our response from Lewis is going to be important here, and as we see now, 93-0 is going to be something where he's going to be battling on the back foot, especially in his first game. It is early days though, but you don't want to treat this as though it is just a throwaway set. Again, it's the best of 5, every set counts. So it's going to be something where seeing how he responds to the pressure put on from VAEN. As we've seen, VAEN and Dr. Trojan, I have on here with me, you guys played each other very tight. Obviously, it was but still, the sets were incredibly close most of the time. So it's something where of similar caliber Falco players. So it's going to be something where seeing how he responds to that type of pressure, especially after being on the losers run, is going to be important. And also, with a lot of that losers run coming on the side of the Greninja, not coming on the side of the Sephiroth, I would not be surprised if semi-soon we see a swap off. That recovery there from Lewis, barely hanging on to the
wow.
Keeping the tension and that early kill on VAEN.
Nice, and that wasn't even bad DI, that's just Sephiroth with VAEN. He's going to have that for a while if Lewis can't get something going immediately. 60%, I mean, this isn't entirely impossible for Lewis, but we've seen VAEN play super hot all day, especially with these electric sets most of the cast. It was a struggle versus Randor, but for the most part, he's been pretty solid.
Well, as you said, having this be as regarded by many Falco players their worst matchup, it's also something where it's a little bit of a mental battle, where it depends on kind of how your mental goes about it when you're going to matches. I know at BW we kind of have nomenclature that we talk about with players, and there are certain players who,
unfortunately,
barely missing the side B. Going back on that, we have nomenclature within our system where we talk about kind of how players play and how they operate within our system. We talk about kind of how they treat matchups, and there are certain players who just, it does not matter what the matchup is, it does not matter how bad it is, looks like that is going to be a run back on Battlefield, they will just play and treat it like it's their best match. Because there are players who simply do not care what they're playing into, they'll just win. And that's something where, that is a big mental thing, and it is something where, again, depending on how much you buy into the tier lists and how much you buy into the way that characters are supposed to be played, it's something where it may be something that kind of harps on VAEN, especially if you start to kind of get a run back when you start to perform worse. That could be something where you're thinking about it and it gets in your head, where it's like you thought you could beat the matchup, and really, like, you end up start losing it, and then you're like, maybe this is the worst matchup, and not just the better player. It's obviously something that only time will tell, and as we see right here, Lucky Lewis off to a little bit of a hotter start than he was in the first, going up, almost doubling the percent, and as soon as I say that, VAEN with the instant response, dropping the combo, and Lucky Lewis getting a little bit of pressure in on there, sending VAEN off stage, way to get the ledge guard, but...
I mean, focusing on the matchup itself, the big thing that Falco struggles to do is Falco cannot edge guard Sephiroth, ideally, because Sephiroth will freeze. Weird, the up B is very hard to spike, and you just see it there. Constant ledge pressure with the range Sephiroth has is going to take the first shot for Lewis. And off stage, could have gotten the spike there, but it was a bit fast, so it's understandable to not hit it. But can Lewis get a solid lead here on VAEN as he's just trying to throw out these back airs, trying to keep this control, solid side B to catch the Phantasm, and VAEN is just struggling to do that, which is not something we've seen too much in this game.
And it's something where, again, that matchup is going to start to get into your head as you start talking about this, where VAEN is down, where the percentile is even, but again, Lewis has that stock lead, and as we've seen, kill incredibly early. It's something that's just kind of a perk of playing the Sephiroth. He has the ability to just apply pressure no matter where. That side whiff is going to convert for a VAEN kill, but Lucky Lewis here just is, again, VAEN is in kill percent. Lucky Lewis is, as we've seen earlier, is willing to play slightly off stage to get that confirmed. So, looking towards exactly what VAEN is.
See, trying to go for the ledge guard, not quite getting it, because Sephiroth's left B is extremely good at counteracting whatever Falco does. All Falco can really do is try and punish the area, but the back over there, really making the strong lead for Lewis a detrimental thing for VAEN. I mean, all you can really do is Falco at the ledge is try and preemptively call it out with the warrior, but even then, Sephiroth's are pretty good at mixing it up. Yeah.
And as we saw in that last match, VAEN is now down 1 stock to 2. He was able to do it against Randor last time, but with Randor he had a very good amount of damage on that first stock and was just able to carry that combo that's going to be a drop from Lucky Lewis, giving VAEN potentially a little bit of an opening. But Lucky Lewis able to wrestle that pressure directly back, looking for the next set, getting VAEN up to 80 and playing that ledge pressure. Not even necessarily going for anything, just standing there showing to VAEN that there is pressure at the ledge, that the recovery is not going to be doing this thing that you can't do. It's not going to be without fear. Lucky Lewis here looking to apply a little bit more pressure onto VAEN, however VAEN is able to evade it and start to play that long game neutral. Lucky Lewis able to get in close and play that pressure. Ledge guard is not going to go through, and as we see that side B from VAEN comboing in, getting a little bit more pressure on Lucky Lewis, but it is not going to end up as anything. Spot dodge and the grab is going to be great, providing Lucky Lewis on the stage. More pressure.
God, that was
but
crazy.
the spike on ledge, bringing the series even.
Yeah, that was just clean from Lewis. It seems like he's adapted super well to VAEN's Falco. And again, as you were saying multiple times, this is a mental battle for Falco. Not as much for Sephiroth, because Sephiroth is one of the few characters that can avoid getting led better by Falco as long as they're not too predictable, and they're running it straight to counter, which honestly a questionable counter pick from VAEN, considering that Sephiroth's going to have a lot more mix-ups with recovering just because of the board zoning the walls.
This also could be me remembering wrong, but I feel like in practice I've seen Lucky Lewis play on Callus a lot, and I don't know if that's just me remembering the Callus games more than any of the other games.
What a flag.
The collective quad, that's something else. The shield essentially trying to get some chip on their VAEN. Looks like it did something, but maybe not as much as Lucky Lewis would have been looking for. Now bringing the percentiles back to even. A double whiff on the grabs is going to provide no real pressure for anyone. Call out. from Lucky Lewis, bringing him up early, and now it's going to be playing that side. And that's one of the big things that I've seen Lucky Lewis play, that sword stab into the wall, giving him a little bit of a stall off ledge. I've seen him do that a ton, especially on Kalos, but pretty much any stage he can get away with it, he does. So it's going to be something where he's able to mix up the speed at which he recovers, and that's going to be a lot of offstage kind of just mix-ups that VAEN is going to have to contend with, being able to play on those different paces. And Lucky Lewis continuing to keep the pressure up on VAEN, really just like showing why many Falcos consider this to be their worst matchup. He's able to play the distance on the Falco while still being able to carry a lot of the pressure that Sephiroth is normally able to cover onto him.
Finally getting the up smash as VAEN. Sigh of relief there, but still at 91. Now 108 as Sephiroth. You're just trying to do something here. You have to be super careful because Sephiroth's going to outrange you in any aspect. Not going to quite hit. I do like the mix up on the recovery, trying to go to the platform. And if you're VAEN, you just have to be patient here. And he has struggled with that so much work. He has to wait out Sephiroth's stuff and just punish. Because something that Lewis is not so great at is if he gets flustered fast. Not getting flustered here as he takes this next stock with forward tilt.
He's able to keep his pressure alive. I think the one thing that I noticed from VAEN is that he either needs to play much slower or he needs to play much more risky. He's been playing a nice standard Falco game, which is not bad, it's very good. It's worked against everyone else that he's played against. But the issue is that when you're playing a very standard Falco game into a very standard Sephiroth game, you're going to run into a lot of those issues that a lot of people talk about when we talk about this being Falco's worst matchup. He needs to either start playing this slower, so he needs to be waiting for Lucky Lewis to be making these mistakes, or he needs to be playing a little bit more risky. Not necessarily fast, but just play 4 moves that you really normally go for against a Falco, because you need to call out these potential openings. And it's something that we have not seen him go for with a lot of these recoveries. We saw it a little bit with the height recovery that was able to call Lucky Lewis out and be able to kind of switch up on what exactly he's going for. And that recovery right there, exactly seeing that come out, Lucky Lewis going for the height.
Ooh, not getting the punish there with the whip up smash. That could have been the game, and VAEN has to take this stock now. There is nothing more important, and that down might do it, but not timing it quite right. Oh.
He paused there. I don't know if that was a misinput or what, but getting caught right in there was just something that wasn't really going to affect it. It's now 1-1, but with VAEN at such a high percent, he is just in the danger zone constantly. Lucky Lewis is at the point where a lot can kill, but VAEN needs to get some sort of opening here. And we're not seeing that quite yet. At the start, this could be something, but Lucky Lewis could kind of come out of it, but still stay in it.
That might be it. No, not quite. Barely making it back, and that forward tilt is just going to do it.
And it's the response. Again, it's that thing we talked about. It's when the fluster gets there, when he starts to get under pressure, it's going to be something that very much is a problem. But Lucky Lewis, he's been playing this a lot, and he's been on this big losers run. He knows that he needs to not get flustered. He needs to just stay locked throughout. So, as we go to this final stock, as we go to this final set, this is where we look towards what exactly the pick is going to be, what the response from VAEN is going to be. We've seen that the Hollow, it started, like, it looked like it was going to work, but then the response from Lucky Lewis was there. VAEN took him to Kalos, and Lucky Lewis was able to respond there, so now we're looking at seeing what VAEN is going to go for now. It's going to be a very interesting mix-up as we look towards what exactly we need to see here from VAEN. As we talked about a lot, it's going to be playing for those punishes, and it's going to be playing a little bit more mixy. It's something where that standard into standard is just not going to work anymore. VAEN needs to play a little bit different. He can't rely on being the better player. He needs to rely on being the more complex player.
Right, and he's just, it's something he's always struggled with. It's either he goes super passive and doesn't get much, or he goes super aggressive, tries to get a lot, but at the same time not getting much. You can't be too predictable on one end of the spectrum. Everything getting there.
Yeah, they were just taking a little bit of a mental break. Just like that.
Kalos.
And so we have a run back on Kalos. Leaving this open, I mean, I get. I think there's worse options that you can take Sephiroth to. I think if you take him to a fast killing stage, it's just something where you're just asking for trouble.
I mean, mind you, this was Lewis's ban, and I mean, I get that this game was even, and VAEN definitely had a little bit of a comeback there, but just couldn't secure it. I don't think it's a wise pick. I mean, Lewis just looks so strong on this stage, and even if he was able to bring it back towards the end, Lewis still came out on top.
Yep. And this is another thing where you are contending with so I talked about those little micros, the sword stabbing aside. We didn't see Lewis playing the off-stage game a ton, which we're going to see more as being a very early start and very early carry. But it is something that he can use that golden mix-up. When he starts playing against games, it feels like games can be pressure on that stage more. Lewis may start relying on that off-stage mix-up to change up the pacing. It's going to be something where if he's able to punish something where Vayne goes for an off-stage punish, and then Lewis is able to play with how he covers and plays with timing, it's something he can pay out. Some of Vayne's more heavy commit moves, and then able to go in for a punish. So we haven't quite seen play out yet, but something that I'm surprised when it comes to here.
I'm not going to catch that yet, but what is
Looks like a very good punish.
And he's not going to hear getting the down pressure, catch the jump, smart stuff from Vayne. That's something that Lewis has been doing a lot this grab, but trying to do those knee grabs on ledge with the uppy, and most of the time it works, but it seems like Vayne's going to catch onto it, and he's being strong and stored on the second stock, continuing to put him at disadvantage. That was that mental block. It seems like he's finally finding himself here, but very unfortunately getting that Venom footstool to not get punished by that uppy, and the good is going to do it.
But fair, that's just a Sephiroth moment right there. So it's something where, again, if you look towards, it looks like Vayne is he's figuring out how to play the mix-up. He's figuring out how to read the things that Lucky Lewis has been going for. But it is something where going with Lucky Lewis is that adaptation to all games and is it something where you think that was just a one-time thing, or are you going to be calling that out as a classic thing, so you have to play that off-stage game a little bit different? Coming out of play, some of those things that we talked about earlier, some of those mix-ups that Sephiroth has, especially on this map where the stage just has walls totally down. That's a lot of pressure that Lucky Lewis has applied.
Okay.
Able to stall that recovery out, getting a high hit, another one.
Keeping him in the air, not quite, maybe one, not quite punishing the jump there, but an air dodge to the ledge, keeping Lucky Lewis in this good position. Vayne has to get the stage quick. Remind you, this is a good up smash to catch the option there. I'm not sure what Lewis was trying to go for there, but hey, good call out from Vayne. And good call out from Lucky Lewis just responding immediately back as we go to Vayne's tournament stock right now. He cannot take the stock. He's out at 4th place and misses at minimum $10 prize pool. I mean, he can $90 prize pool, getting $10, breaking all of them in his backseat. That's really insane.
And early pressure from Lucky Lewis here, it is about even, and that's one of the things that's been very interesting to look at this entire set. When it's been even, it looks like Vayne has had the upper hand, but this is something where Lucky Lewis, having a little bit of momentum coming into this, coming off of that stock hit, bringing it completely even, giving no space. You're going to be looking at that. You see Vayne at 71, Lucky Lewis sitting at 30 off stage.
Beautiful high recovery too, trying to. Ooh, that was very risky, but it gets the reward for the back. And is this worth it? No, not getting the punish there. Very even percent right now. This is anybody's game, but
it really is.
That. Ooh, wait. Oh! Oh no! Wow!
That was
insane. Lucky Lewis trying to go for it all, knowing that if he hit it and could win, but he died first, and this is going straight to a game 5 where
this is a game 5.
I imagine Lewis is not pleased with that.
Well, I don't know. I will say he's been a player, again, as we talked about, he's a player that goes for silly stuff. He's a player that goes for fun stuff. It's something that it's definitely frustrating, but also, I was going to say another little bit of background lore, he's a player who picked up Overwatch this semester. He knows about playing frustrating games.
Right.
He is aware. Oh, and I'm gonna make a early call because I know this is Lucky Lewis is doing. This man is a Xenoblade fiend. He will play it. He is a big Xenoblade guy. Throwing that music on, this is a Vayne. This is a game. Although Vayne has the pressure going in, this is a game where Lucky Lewis is looking to win.
And you have to think too, that crucial mistake is opening up it's a sigh of relief for Vayne, getting the opportunity to go to one of your more comfortable stages. Even in this matchup where it's a little bit iffy, you're comfortable on the stage, you are thankful that Lewis did not get the kill first. He SD'd. It was a
Didn't even look like an SD, it looked like a reversal from VAEN on the contact. There was a shootout left. It looked like something that VAEN was able to pull at the end.
Right.
But as we see here in the early game, VAEN was able to get a little bit of pressure on the start, but Lucky Lewis was able to get a bit of a response. VAEN not quite able to pressure.
Oh my god!
But VAEN with the carry-off stage, bringing this game into a very early start for VAEN.
And that's something we haven't seen from in this entire bracket. Going for the aggressive option and getting such a huge reward for it. Lewis just barely not getting that FB off in time. And now the question is, can VAEN get something going here, or is Lewis just going to respond like he has been this entire set?
And it looks like the response, a lot of damage coming in from VAEN with a shield break and a full charge eruption there. That is just, that's a finisher right there. 2-2, and this is one of those things where we talk about that pressure, we talk about that aggression coming back in. Lucky Lewis now an even game. Not a lot of damage on VAEN, but potentially getting something to VAEN, a little bit of a carry high rate moves up to that 60. That up B, a little dangerous there. That down tilt could have really been something, but
I mean, doing it on the shield, you're not going to punish something that comes out super slow. Getting the sour spot like that, not going to quite kill. Now, opting to go for the air dodge, those are smart. He's playing forward air. Tech chances are you're going to put in a bad situation. And VAEN takes this stock early like he did that first stock. Lewis has just been able to respond so well, and I feel like especially after that miscue game 4, he just wants to take the step. The Xenoblade's music's on, the plot armor is on for him right now, and he wants to continue this monstrous movement.
big man's locked, that's all I gotta say.
Getting the clang, but the up smash not going in VAEN's favor. Even stocks right now, not getting the down tilt, almost hitting the up smash. Either of these players, whoever takes the stock is looking pretty good, but as we've seen throughout this entire set, leads don't last for long. Dealing leads that last long and final stock. And starting off strong, getting that forward tilt to make it VAEN's tournament stock.
So Lucky Lewis, at that high percent, I was going to say, pretty much any response from VAEN was going to be a very detrimental response here on Lucky Lewis, almost always getting a kill. But now, as we look towards this final stock, Lucky Lewis getting an early opening, getting that 30% on early. VAEN not able to find a ton of response, getting a laser on, getting that little bit of chip, but it's going to be looking for some sort of carry. A lot of things we saw on
dropping the combo,
Rando.
getting something there. He's been air dodging a lot too. Both players are in this panic situation. You're starting to see a lot of their bad habits come out. Not getting the up smash, pushing VAEN to the ledge, not quite getting a response. Both players are bound to be even. Risky up B, and that's going to punish to make it a slightly VAEN's favor. It's anybody's game.
It really is, and at this point with this game, VAEN with a little bit of a carry could have gone into something, but Lucky Lewis able to get a little bit of pressure outside of that. VAEN getting some damage, putting Lucky Lewis in this offstage potential, that recovery, putting him on this stage. VAEN with a little bit of a carry, putting Lucky Lewis into that high state. It's something where we've seen Lucky Lewis's ledge play kind of come out here, and that kick.
Not going to quite do it. VAEN on point, but Lewis just a couple more hits ready too. And that back air is going to do it. What a set.
Yeah.
Lewis coming back, not letting that game 4 bother him, and taking control.
And this is why we like best of fives. They put storylines, they put crazy